Calderon, Boxing Talk.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's Boxing Talk. Saturday, December the 9th, it's the much-anticipated showdown, the super fight between Vasyl Lomachenko and Guillermo Rigondeaux. This is a fight matchup that boxing fans are really geared up for. Very excited for this fight to take place because it's a fight that we have been asking for quite some time, and it's finally going to happen. Guillermo Rigondeaux is perhaps one of the best fighters ever to come out of Cuba, and he's a guy that is the king of the 122-pound super bantamweight division, and he's jumping up 2 weight classes to take on Vasyl Lomachenko, who is regarded as pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world today. And he's a guy that's already a 2-division world champion, as he captured the WBO featherweight title and now holds the WBO junior lightweight title at 130 pounds and will be defending that title on that night. And ESPN will be broadcasting live for boxing fans all over to tune in for this fight, and it's going to be one hell of a treat. I can't wait for this fight to take place. It's a matchup between 2 Olympic 2-time gold medalists and perhaps the best amateurs ever to exist in boxing history. I can't explain to you the magnitude of this fight right here. I know a lot of people are trying to throw shade on it, saying that this fight is not really worth it. Guillermo Rigondeaux is a lot older than what he is listed as, 38 years old. They believe that he might be in his 40s, but I say this: age is just a number, because Bernard Hopkins and other fighters in the past have proved if you're a special type of fighter, a great fighter, then that age is just not a factor in this fight. And I know that he's moving up 2 weight classes, but I believe that 130 pounds is not going to be a big deal for a guy like Guillermo Rigondeaux, because Lomachenko and Rigondeaux are basically the same size. And Lomachenko is not a guy that's a true lightweight or even a junior welterweight. This guy doesn't put on a lot of pounds, and Guillermo Rigondeaux shouldn't have a problem with the slight size advantage that Lomachenko has. I believe this fight is pretty evenly matched. Lomachenko is the younger fighter. He's a guy that's very quick. They call him the Matrix because he has great footwork in there. The way he moves his upper body, he's very good, very fast, and he has decent punching power. He's not a big knockout puncher. You know, we saw the knockout that he scored against Rocky Martinez. That was sensational. He's broken guys down with a high volume. This guy throws a lot of punches. He overwhelms you with the amount of work rate that he brings into the ring, and he's a very skillful type fighter. An offensive fighter, Guillermo Rigondeaux is more of a defensive master. This guy has superb reflexes. He looks like a cat in there. The way he moves in that ring, he makes you miss, he makes you pay. He's very quick. I give the hand speed department to Guillermo Rigondeaux. I think Ringo is a guy that's an excellent body puncher. You haven't seen that much of that body work that he has, and he has very good hard-hitting power. I think he has more punching power than Lomachenko. Can he carry it up to the 130-pound division? We're going to see. You know, both guys in the chin department, we've seen Guillermo Rigondeaux drop. We haven't seen Lomachenko really rocked and hurt. We saw him against a guy like Salido, which was a guy that was physically bigger than him, bully him. But Lomachenko held his own in that fight. We saw against another fast, speedy fighter in Gary Russell Jr., who's very young and had good punching power as well. And he was able to handle Gary Russell very good in that fight. So, you know, Lomachenko is a special type of fighter. He's a great fighter, and he's the favorite to win this fight. I'm a big fan of his since he came out of the amateur rankings. I've been watching him, and I've been keeping a close eye on him, and I believe that he is definitely close to that pound-for-pound #1 status. I got him in the top 4 as pound-for-pound the best fighter in the world, but I like Rigondeaux a lot. I think this guy is also a very special fighter. I believe that he has a great opportunity to win this fight. I'm going to go with the Cuban fighter for this fight right here. I know that he's the underdog. He's the closest thing to a Floyd Mayweather that you could see in the boxing ring. And I think that he has the potential for Lomachenko to bring out the best in Rigondeaux in this fight, and I think that he could put on a very surprising performance and shock a lot of people out there. A lot of people don't agree with me and see this as a very evenly matched contest, but I believe that this fight is a lot closer than what people are giving it. You know, I think this fight is a special type of fight. This is something that we have never seen in the history of boxing. 2-time Olympic gold medalist, great amateur fighters, perhaps the greatest of all time. facing each other in the pro rankings, and these guys are just so skillful that it's a reminiscent of perhaps a Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker versus a Floyd Pretty Boy Mayweather. That's the type of matchup I'm talking about. You know, imagine watching those two guys in their prime facing off against each other at 130 pounds. I mean, that's an awesome dream match right there. This is the closest we're going to get to that. Guillermo Rigondeaux is a lot older, but he's still a very, very dangerous fighter out there in boxing. Pound for pound, one of the top 10 fighters in the world. And I think that this is a great matchup. So tune into ESPN because it's going to be one hell of a treat. December 9th. I can't wait for this matchup. I like both guys a lot. But even though Lomachenko is the favorite, I'm going with Rigondeaux. I want to see the underdog come out on top. But moving along, also on the same night, HBO is going to perhaps have a double header or a triple header. I'm not too sure. First, we have former junior lightweight champion Francisco Vargas stepping into the ring against tough British fighter Stephen Smith. This is going to be a pretty good fight. Good matchup between these two right here, but the edge goes with Francisco Vargas. I like him. He's a tough game Mexican warrior, has the better punching power, has more experience, and he's been in some Fight of the Year candidate type fights. And I just see him as the guy that's going to come out the winner in this fight, but it should be a pretty good scrap. Also on that card, you have Tevin showcasing his skills and making a return after a gun injury when he was shot in the hand for an apparent robbery. And now he looks to come back in his first fight for the vacant IBF junior lightweight title that Gervonta Tank Davis once held and was stripped of. And this is a match where he's going up against a Japanese fighter. I don't know his name too well, but it's a fight where Tevin is the favorite because this guy is a very talented young fighter, very skillful fighter. His hand is now healed, so there shouldn't be any problems with using that right hand, and I see him boxing to perhaps a clear-cut decision victory to capture that IBF title. We all know that him and Tank Davis have a rivalry beef that has gone on since early on this year when they were in Washington, D.C. I was there on hand to watch these guys go at each other. It was a spectacle that everybody had their cameras out and was recording this. These guys really don't like each other. They've been going back and forth on Twitter, on social media, and they should definitely get it on in the future. We don't know what's going on with Gervonta Tank Davis, when his next fight is scheduled. He's having legal trouble right now outside of the boxing ring. Let's hope that that gets taken care of and this young talented man can step back in the ring and perhaps make 130 pounds once again to try to win back his title against Tevin because this guy is going to become world champion. There's no doubt about it. And I look forward to him and Gervonta Tank Davis locking horns in the near future. Now, moving on to the main event of the evening is Mexico's former world champion Orlando Salido taking on another Mexican warrior in Micky Roman. This is a very good matchup, an excellent toe-to-toe Fight of the Year type candidate fight. These guys always put on a great performance when they step into the ring against anybody they go against. And at 130 pounds, they're going to be fighting for an interim title of the WBC in the junior lightweight division. And it's a fight matchup where I see both guys going toe-to-toe, working the body and letting those hands go. It's going to be a slug matchup between these two right here. Micky Roman is a little bit younger. He's a guy that's a little bit fresher. We've seen Orlando Salido in a lot of wars. What does he have left in his career? He was supposed to have several different fights lining up, him and Gervonta Davis. That fight didn't work out. It's a fight that was very interesting. A great fight for Gervonta Davis, but it didn't happen. Then we had rumors that he was going to take on Vasyl Lomachenko. That's a fight that a lot of people was questioning because in his last 6 fights hasn't looked that good at all. He's looking like he's on the decline. I think if he would have fought Lomachenko would have had an easier time this time around and would have clearly beat him decisively. But that fight didn't take place because Salido wanted $1 million payday to face Lomachenko, and that was something that Top Rank wasn't willing to do. So we have to wait and see if they could come back to the drawing table if both guys are victorious in their performances this weekend. And then there was also talks about a matchup between Francisco Vargas and Orlando Salido, which was a very good fight. They're both fighting on the same card. I don't know why this fight wasn't made. You know, Golden Boy promotes both of these guys. It was an easy fight to make, but both guys decided to go in different directions with different opponents. So I look forward to their fights because I think both fights are going to be really good fights. And maybe down the road, these guys can match up as well, because it's always going to be a great fight when any of these guys are involved. But let's just hope for the boxing fans' sakes that it's a great night of boxing and that we get to enjoy all these fights. That's my final take and analysis on the fights that are going to take place. So tune in to HBO and ESPN. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into my YouTube channel, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that little red subscribe button. Put your email information in so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Hit that like button, also that share button. Make comments, and also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching, and please subscribe.